One phone call can destroy your entire world, and mine just did. I stared at my phone screen, my hands shaking so hard I almost dropped it. The hospital bill glowed like a threat. $67,000 for Grandma Rose's heart surgery, due in 2 weeks or they would cancel everything. "Mama, why are you crying?" my 4-year-old daughter Destiny asked, tugging on my worn jeans. I quickly wiped my tears and forced a smile. "I'm not crying, baby. Mama just has something in her eye." But the truth was breaking me apart inside. I was 26 years old, working 2 jobs at a pharmacy and a diner, and I still couldn't save the one person who raised me. My phone buzzed again. Another text from my sister Valencia. "Mama said get to the community center now. Your blind date is waiting. Don't mess this up, Tiana." A blind date. The last thing I needed. But Grandma Rose had begged me before her last hospital visit. "Baby girl, you need a good man. Destiny needs a father. Promise me you'll try." I couldn't say no to her. She was dying, and this might be her final wish. I looked down at Destiny's bright brown eyes and perfect cornrows. "Come on, sweetie. We gotta go meet somebody." The summer heat hit us the moment we stepped outside our small apartment in the south side of Chicago. The building was old, with peeling paint and rusty fire escapes, but it was home. I held Destiny's hand tight as we walked past the corner store, the barber shop, and Miss Pearl's soul food restaurant. When we reached the community center, I saw him immediately. Sometimes the person meant for you is sitting right where you least expect them. The community center was packed with people doing blind dates. It looked like speed dating, but for marriage. My date, Deshaun, sat at table 7, checking his watch like I was already wasting his time. I took a deep breath and walked over. "Hi, I'm Tiana Brooks." Deshaun looked up and down at me, his face twisting like he smelled something bad. "You're late. And you brought a kid?" "This is my daughter, Destiny. My grandma's watching her later, but—" "Hold up." He raised his hand and started texting. "Man, this is crazy. I don't do single moms. That's too much baggage." My face burned with embarrassment. People at nearby tables were staring. Destiny squeezed my hand tighter. "Baggage?" I repeated, my voice shaking. "My daughter is not baggage." "Look, I need a woman who can focus on me, not somebody who's already got a kid from some random dude. Plus, my mama said you gotta buy me a house if we get married. 2 houses, actually. One for me and one for my brother." I couldn't believe what I was hearing. 2 houses? I work in a pharmacy and a diner. I can barely pay rent. "Then why are you here?" Deshaun stood up, his chair scraping loud across the floor. "Stop wasting my time, broke girl. Go find another fool." Tears burned my eyes, but I refused to cry in front of everyone. I grabbed Destiny's hand and turned to leave. That's when I heard a deep voice from the table next to us. "Excuse me, miss. Can you wait a moment?" I turned around and saw him clearly for the first time. He was tall, maybe 6'3", with dark brown skin, a neat fade, and kind eyes. He wore simple clothes, jeans, a white t-shirt, and clean sneakers. Nothing fancy, but he looked good, real good. He said, "I'm Marcus Kane," standing up from his table. His voice was smooth and warm like hot chocolate. I couldn't help overhear. That guy was completely out of line. "It's fine," I lied, still holding back tears. "We should go." "Wait." Marcus knelt down so he was eye level with Destiny. "Hi there, princess. What's your name?" Destiny smiled shyly. "Destiny, I'm 4 years old." "4? Wow, you're a big girl," Marcus said gently. "I have a son who's 4 too. His name is Isaiah. Maybe you two can be friends." Destiny's face lit up. "You have a kid? Does he like dolls?" Marcus laughed. "He likes everything. Dolls, trucks, dinosaurs. He's not picky." I watched this stranger talk to my daughter with such kindness. It made my heart hurt because this is what Destiny deserved, a father figure who actually cared. Marcus stood up and looked at me seriously. Miss Brooks, I know this sounds crazy, but I was here for a blind date too. My grandmother is very sick. She wants me to get married before she passes. She's been worried about my son not having a mother figure. I'm so sorry about your grandmother. Thank you. The thing is, my date never showed up. He took a deep breath. I heard what you said earlier about needing a partner, and honestly, I need one too. So here's my question. Would you consider marrying me? I stared at him like he had lost his mind. Marry you? We just met 2 minutes ago. I know it's wild, Marcus said quickly, but hear me out. We both need help. You need someone to be there for your daughter. I need someone to help raise my son. We could help each other. No pressure, no strings, just two people trying to survive and give our kids a better life. My head was spinning. This was insane. You can't just marry a stranger. But then I thought about Grandma Rose dying in that hospital bed. I thought about the bills piling up. I thought about Destiny asking why she didn't have a daddy like the other kids. Are you serious right now? Marcus pulled out his wallet and handed me a simple business card. It just said, Marcus Kane, with a phone number. Dead serious. Meet me at the courthouse at 2 p.m. tomorrow. If you show up, we'll get married. If you don't, no hard feelings. Think about it. He smiled at Destiny one more time. It was nice meeting you, Princess Destiny. Then he walked away, leaving me standing there with my mouth open and my heart racing.
The people who should love you the most can hurt you the worst. I didn't sleep that night. I kept thinking about Marcus Kane and his crazy offer. Marriage? To a complete stranger? It sounded like something from a movie, not real life. But the next morning, reality hit hard. I got another call from the hospital. Grandma Rose had taken a turn for the worse. They moved her surgery up to next week, which meant I needed that money now. I was getting dressed for work when my phone rang. It was my sister Valencia. Tiana, girl, where you been? Valencia's voice was sharp and annoyed. Mama's been calling you. She wants to know about the blind date. I sighed. It didn't work out, Val. Of course it didn't. You probably showed up looking like you just rolled out of bed. Did you even try to look cute? Valencia, the man said my daughter was baggage. He wanted me to buy him 2 houses. It was a disaster. Valencia sucked her teeth. Well, what did you expect? You're a single mother with no money and a kid from some random man you don't even remember. You think quality men are lining up for that? Her words felt like knives. That's really messed up, Val. I'm just being real. Mama and Daddy took me in and raised me right. Meanwhile, you were out here getting pregnant at 21 by some stranger at a hotel. Now look at you, broke, struggling, and alone. I wanted to scream. 5 years ago, something terrible happened to me. I was drugged at a hotel during my sister Valencia's birthday party. When I woke up, I was in a strange room with no memory of what happened. Weeks later, I found out I was pregnant with twins. My adoptive parents, Robert and Diane Martinez, were so ashamed they kicked me out. They said I brought disgrace to the family. They kept Valencia, their biological daughter, but threw me away like trash. Only Grandma Rose stood by me. She took me in, helped me through the pregnancy, and loved Destiny like her own great-granddaughter. But when the twins were born, the doctor said my baby boy didn't survive. Only Destiny made it. Look, I gotta go to work, I said, cutting Valencia off. Whatever, Tiana. Just don't come crying to us when your grandma dies because you couldn't afford her treatment. You made your choices. She hung up. I sat on my bed and cried until Destiny came in wearing her Elsa pajamas. Mama, don't be sad. I love you. I pulled her into my arms and held her tight. I love you too, baby, more than anything in this world. That's when I made my decision. I pulled out Marcus Kane's business card and stared at it. Maybe crazy was exactly what I needed. Sometimes you have to jump without knowing where you'll land. At 2:45 p.m., I stood outside the Cook County Courthouse, my heart pounding so hard I thought it might explode. I wore my best dress, a simple navy blue one I'd bought from Target 3 years ago. Destiny held my hand, wearing her favorite pink dress with ruffles. "Mama, why are we at the big building?" "We're meeting someone, baby. Someone who might become very special to us." I checked my phone. 2:50 p.m. Maybe Marcus wouldn't show up. Maybe this was all a joke. Maybe I was the biggest fool in Chicago for even considering. "Tiana?" I turned around and there he was, Marcus Kane, looking even better than yesterday. He wore black dress pants, a crisp white button-down shirt, and dress shoes. His fade was fresh, and he smelled like expensive cologne. "You came." He smiled with relief. "I can't believe I'm doing this. This is crazy." "I know, but sometimes crazy is the only option that makes sense." Marcus knelt down to Destiny. "Hey there, princess. You remember me?" Destiny nodded, suddenly shy. Marcus reached into his pocket and pulled out a small toy, a Disney Tiana doll, the princess from The Princess and the Frog. "I got this for you. I figured since your name is Destiny and you're a princess, you might like Princess Tiana." "From me? Really?" "Really." "Thank you, Mr. Marcus." She took the doll and hugged it tight. My heart melted a little. This man just met my daughter yesterday, and he already brought her a gift? Deshaun couldn't even be bothered to look at her. Marcus stood up and looked at me seriously. "Tiana, before we do this, I need to be honest with you about something." My stomach dropped. Here it comes, the catch, the red flag. "What is it?" I asked nervously. "I'm not rich. I work as an assistant at a company. I make decent money, but I'm not going to lie and say I can give you a mansion or a fancy lifestyle. What I can give you is respect, partnership, and a home for you and Destiny. Is that enough?" I exhaled with relief. Whew. "Marcus, I work at a pharmacy and a diner. I live in a tiny apartment with my daughter. I'm not looking for a mansion. I'm looking for someone who won't treat us like we're worthless." He smiled. "We're perfect for each other." We walked into the courthouse together. 30 minutes later, we were married. Judge Anderson, a kind older black woman, smiled at us as she pronounced us husband and wife. She said, "You may kiss the bride." Marcus looked at me, asking permission with his eyes. I nodded slightly. He leaned in and gave me the gentlest kiss on my lips. It was soft, sweet, and made my whole body tingle. "Congratulations, Mr. and Mrs. Kane." Mrs. Kane? I was somebody's wife now. After everything I had been through, someone actually wanted me? Nothing in life is ever as simple as it seems. After the courthouse, Marcus drove us in a white delivery van. I noticed the logo on the side said Kane Enterprises. "You drive a work van?" I asked. He shrugged. "It's practical, saves on gas. Plus, I borrowed it from a coworker to help you move your stuff today." "Move?" I blinked. "Move where?" "To our home. You're my wife now, Tiana. We should live together, right? Unless you want to wait." I thought about my tiny apartment with the leaky faucet and the neighbors who fought every night. Then I thought about how marriages were supposed to work. "No, you're right. We should live together. But Marcus, I need to be clear. I'm not ready for, the physical part of marriage yet. We barely know each other." "I completely understand," Marcus said quickly. "We can take things slow. I'll sleep on the couch or in the guest room, whatever makes you comfortable."
Destiny piped up from the back seat. Are we going to your house, Mr. Marcus? Does it have a backyard? Marcus smiled at her through the rearview mirror. It does, and it has a playground nearby. You and Isaiah can play there. Yay! As we drove through Chicago, I watched the neighborhoods change. We left the South Side and headed downtown. The buildings got taller, cleaner, nicer. My stomach twisted with nervousness. Finally, Marcus pulled up to a beautiful high-rise apartment building in the Gold Coast neighborhood. The doorman nodded at him like they knew each other. Wait, I said slowly, you live here? The company provides housing, Marcus explained. It's part of my benefits package. What kind of assistant job comes with a luxury apartment in the Gold Coast? Marcus hesitated. A very good one? Something wasn't adding up, but I was too overwhelmed to ask more questions. We took the elevator to the 15th floor. When Marcus opened the door to apartment 15C, my jaw dropped. The place was huge. Floor-to-ceiling windows overlooked Lake Michigan. The living room was bigger than my entire apartment. Everything was modern, clean, and expensive looking. This is where you live? I whispered. This is where we live now, Marcus corrected gently. Welcome home, Mrs. Kane. Before I could respond, a little boy appeared from one of the bedrooms. He had the same dark brown skin as Marcus, the same kind eyes, but something was different about him. He moved slowly, carefully, like he was nervous about everything. Isaiah, Marcus said softly, come meet your new mom and sister. Isaiah walked over shyly. He looked at me with serious eyes. Hi, Isaiah. I'm Tiana. You can call me Miss Tiana, or if you want, you can call me Mom. Whatever feels right to you. Isaiah stared at me for a long moment. Then, to everyone's surprise, he whispered, Mom. Marcus's eyes went wide with shock. Isaiah, buddy, you just talked. You just called her Mom. He doesn't talk much? I asked. He barely talks at all, Marcus said, his voice thick with emotion. The doctor said he has selective mutism. He only speaks when he feels completely safe. I knelt down to Isaiah's level. Hi, sweetie. It's nice to meet you. Isaiah looked at Destiny. Hi. Destiny grinned. Want to see my Princess Tiana doll? Your daddy got it for me. Isaiah nodded. The two kids ran off to explore the apartment together. Marcus wiped his eyes quickly. I'm sorry. It's just Isaiah hasn't opened up to anyone like this in years. You must be something special, Tiana. I didn't know what to say. This whole day felt like a dream. Let me show you around, Marcus said. The kids each have their own room, and this is our room. He opened the door to reveal a massive master bedroom with a king-size bed and another view of the lake. I'll take the couch, Marcus said quickly. You take the bed. Marcus, this is your home. You should take your own bed. We're married now. What's mine is yours. That's how this works, right? Besides, you're taking care of Isaiah. That's worth more than money to me. I looked at this card in my hands and felt tears coming. Nobody had ever just given me help before. Everyone always wanted something in return. Thank you, I whispered. I'll pay you back, I promise. You don't owe me anything. We're partners now. We talked until midnight about our favorite foods, our childhoods, our dreams. Marcus told me he wanted to expand his career and maybe start his own business someday. I told him I'd always dreamed of going back to college to become a real pharmacist, not just a pharmacy tech. You should do it, Marcus said. Go back to school. I'll help with the kids. Marcus, I can't afford college. We'll figure it out together. Finally, we got ready for bed. I changed in the bathroom into my old pajamas, a worn t-shirt and shorts. When I came out, Marcus was already in bed, lying on the very edge like he was trying to give me as much space as possible. I climbed in on my side. The bed was so big, we were basically in different zip codes. "Good night, Tiana," Marcus said softly. "Good night, Marcus." I closed my eyes, but I couldn't sleep. My mind was racing. Who was this man really? Why was he so kind? What was he hiding? And the biggest question of all, could I actually make this crazy marriage work?
The past has a way of showing up when you least expect it. The next morning, I woke up to the smell of bacon and eggs. For a second, I forgot where I was. Then it hit me. I was in Marcus's bed. I was his wife now. I got up and found Marcus in the kitchen, cooking breakfast while Isaiah and Destiny sat at the table coloring. "Good morning, Mrs. Kane," Marcus said with a smile. "Good morning." I couldn't help but smile back. He looked good in the morning. Gray sweatpants, a black t-shirt, his hair a little messy. You didn't have to cook. I wanted to. Plus, I figured we should all eat together as a family from now on. A family. The word made my heart warm and ache at the same time. We were finishing breakfast when someone knocked on the door. Marcus's whole body tensed up. "Who was that?" I asked. "I'll get it." He went to the door and opened it just a crack. "What are you doing here?" A woman's voice answered, smooth and confident. "Good morning to you too, Marcus. Aren't you going to invite me in?" Marcus sighed. "Now's not a good time. I brought soup for Isaiah from his favorite restaurant. You know how he loves my visits." Before Marcus could say no, the woman pushed past him into the apartment. She was beautiful, light brown skin, long straight hair, designer clothes, and heels that probably cost more than my rent. She looked like she stepped out of a magazine. When she saw me standing there in my pajamas, her perfect smile froze. "Who is this?" she asked. "Simone, this is my wife, Tiana. Tiana, this is Simone Harris. She's an old family friend." "Wife?" Simone's eyes went wide. "Excuse me? Did you say wife?" "We got married yesterday," Marcus said calmly. Simone laughed like she didn't believe him. "Marcus, stop playing. You're not married." I stepped forward, feeling defensive. "Yes, he is. We got married at the courthouse. I'm his wife, and this is my daughter, Destiny." Simone looked me up and down like I was dirt on her expensive shoes. "Let me guess. You met him at a bar, got pregnant, and trapped him into marriage. Classic." "Watch your mouth," I said, my voice hard. "You don't know anything about me." "I know women like you, gold diggers looking for a come-up. Do you even know who Marcus really is?" "That's enough," Marcus said firmly. "Simone, you need to leave." "Isaiah," Simone called out, ignoring Marcus. "Come give Auntie Simone a hug." Isaiah looked at her from the table but didn't move. He pressed closer to Destiny instead. Simone's face twisted with hurt and anger. "Isaiah, I brought your favorite soup." "He's fine," I said. "He's eating breakfast with his sister." "His sister?" Simone's voice got loud. "That random little girl is not his sister." "Don't talk about my daughter like that." "Isaiah is like my own son," Simone said with a shaking voice. "I've been in his life since he was a baby. You've been here for one day and you think you can replace me?" Marcus stepped between us. "Simone, I appreciate everything you've done for Isaiah over the years, but Tiana is my wife now. You need to respect that." Simone's eyes filled with tears. "Marcus, we grew up together. I've known you since we were kids. I've always been there for you, and you marry some random woman you just met?" "I'm sorry if this hurts you, but my decision is final." Simone grabbed her purse and headed for the door, but before she left, she turned to me with cold eyes. "You think you know him. You don't. Marcus Kane is not who he pretends to be, and when you find out the truth, don't say I didn't warn you." She slammed the door behind her. I looked at Marcus. What does she mean by that? Marcus ran his hand over his face, looking tired. Simone and I grew up together. Our families are close. She's always wanted more than friendship, but I never felt that way about her. She's been helping with Isaiah because she's good with kids, but lately she's been overstepping boundaries. Is that all? Or is there something else you're not telling me? Tiana, I promise I'll explain everything. Just give me a little more time. I wanted to push harder, but Isaiah came over and hugged my leg. Mom, don't be sad, he whispered. My heart melted. I'm not sad, baby. Everything's okay. But deep down, I knew Simone was right about one thing. Marcus was hiding something, and I needed to find out what. Money can't buy happiness, but it sure helps when you're broke. Later that day, Marcus announced we were going shopping. Shopping for what? I asked. For you and Destiny. You need clothes, supplies, everything. We're a family now. Let me take care of you. I felt uncomfortable. Marcus, I have clothes. Tiana, I saw your suitcase. You own like 5 outfits total. Let me do this, please. He looked at me with those kind eyes, and I couldn't say no. We loaded the kids into Marcus's car, not the delivery van this time, but a nice black SUV. Destiny and Isaiah were already acting like real siblings, fighting over who got to sit by the window. We drove to a Target on the north side. As we walked through the store, Marcus kept grabbing things and throwing them in the cart. New clothes for Destiny, toys for both kids, groceries, toiletries. Marcus, this is too much, I protested. It's not enough. Pick out some things for yourself, too. I don't need anything fancy. Tiana, he stopped the cart and looked at me seriously. I know you're used to struggling. I know you're used to doing everything alone, but you're not alone anymore. Let me take care of my family. My family. He kept saying that word like he meant it. I grabbed a few simple shirts, some jeans, and a new pair of sneakers. Marcus frowned at my choices. That's it? Come on, get more. This is already more than I bought for myself in 2 years, I admitted. His face fell. Tiana, it's fine. I'm used to it. Well, you don't have to be used to it anymore. At the checkout, the total came to $487. I nearly fainted, but Marcus just swiped his card like it was nothing. As we were loading bags into the car, a voice called out behind us. Well, 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 look who it is. I turned around and my stomach dropped. It was Valencia, my sister, with her boyfriend Jamal. Valencia was dressed head to toe in designer clothes, Gucci purse, Louis Vuitton shoes, the works. She looked at our Target bags with a smirk. Shopping at Target, Tiana? I thought you were saying you were getting married. I am married, I said, lifting my left hand to show my simple wedding band. This is my husband, Marcus. Valencia's eyes swept over Marcus, and I saw the judgment in them. To her, he just looked like a regular guy in jeans and a t-shirt. Girl, please, you married this? An assistant at some random company? She laughed. Mama said you were desperate, but damn. Marcus stepped closer to me. Nice to meet you too, Valencia. Don't talk to me, broke boy. Valencia flipped her hair. Tiana, when are you going to stop embarrassing the family? First, you get pregnant by some random man. Now you marry a nobody. That's enough, I said, my voice shaking with anger. Is it? Because Mama told me about Grandma Rose's surgery bills. You really thought marrying some delivery driver was going to solve your problems? Valencia pulled out her phone. Look at this. This is my man Jamal's car, a BMW. That's what a real man drives, not a Target shopping cart. Jamal stood there looking smug in his designer jacket. Come on, baby, Valencia said to Jamal. Let's go to Nordstrom. I can't be seen at Target. They walked away laughing. I stood there feeling humiliated. Marcus put his arm around me. Don't let her get to you, he said softly. She's right, though. You deserve better than me. Someone without all this baggage and drama.
Tiana, look at me. Marcus turned me to face him. Your sister is miserable inside. That's why she tears you down. But me? I'm the luckiest man in Chicago because I found you. Destiny tugged on my shirt. Mama, why was that lady so mean? Because some people are just mean, baby. I wiped my eyes. Isaiah took Destiny's hand. Come on, sister. Let's go home. As we drove back to the apartment, I thought about Valencia's words. She was right about one thing. I was desperate. But was I so desperate that I married a man without knowing who he really was? When you've been poor your whole life, having money feels like a trap. That night, after the kids were asleep, I sat in the bedroom staring at Marcus's bank card. He'd given it to me so casually, like it was nothing. But to me, it was everything. I opened my laptop and nervously logged into online banking using the information on the back of the card. My hands shook as I waited for the page to load. When the balance appeared on screen, I literally gasped out loud. $747,293.42. $847,000 in a checking account. I slammed the laptop shut, my heart racing. Who was Marcus Kane? No regular assistant had almost $1 million just sitting and checking. That didn't even count savings, investments, or anything else. Marcus walked in from the bathroom, wearing pajama pants and no shirt. I tried not to stare at his body, but damn, he was fine. Everything okay? He asked, noticing my expression. Marcus, who are you really? He sat down on the bed, keeping distance between us. What do you mean? I checked the bank account. There's almost $1 million in there. Assistants don't make that kind of money. Marcus sighed deeply. I was going to tell you. I just wanted to wait for the right time. Tell me what? My job isn't exactly what I said it was. I don't just work for a company. I run the company. My mind went blank. What? I'm the CEO of Kane Enterprises. We do real estate development all over Chicago. The company is worth about $3 billion. I stared at him. $3 billion? I know I should have told you from the start, but Tiana, women treat me different when they know I'm rich. They want the money, the lifestyle, the status. I wanted to marry someone who liked me for me, not for what I could buy them. So you lied to me? I didn't lie. I just didn't tell the whole truth. I stood up, pacing the room. Marcus, this is crazy. You're a billionaire, and you let me think you were just a regular guy. I've been trying to save money on groceries while you have $3 billion? I wanted you to feel comfortable. I didn't want you to feel like you owed me anything. Well, now I feel like an idiot. My voice cracked. Your ex Simone tried to warn me. She said you weren't who you pretended to be. She was right. Simone doesn't know anything about my feelings. Yes, I have money, but that doesn't change who I am inside. I'm still the same man who married you yesterday. Are you? Because the man I married was honest. Or so I thought. Marcus stood up and walked toward me. Tiana, I'm sorry. I should have been upfront from the beginning. But please understand, I've had so many women try to trap me, use me, manipulate me for money. When I met you at that community center, you were real. You were genuine. You didn't see dollar signs. You saw a father trying to help his son. That's what made me want to marry you. I can't believe this is happening. I sat on the bed, my head spinning. Look, here's what I'm offering. Full transparency from now on. Ask me anything about the money, the company, my life. I'll tell you everything. I looked up at him. Everything? Everything.
Fine. Where did you find Isaiah? You said you found him on the street 4 years ago during a development project? Marcus nodded slowly. Yes, in Inglewood. He was abandoned in a cardboard box by a demolished building. He was barely breathing, covered in bruises. I rushed him to the hospital. They saved his life, but no one ever came looking for him. So I adopted him. My heart broke. Someone just left him to die? Yes, the police investigated but never found the parents. After 6 months in the system, I legally adopted him. Marcus's voice was thick with emotion. Isaiah is my son in every way that matters. I thought about Destiny and how I would die before abandoning her. That's horrible, but you saved him. You gave him a home and love. Just like you gave Destiny a home and love when everyone else turned their back on you. We sat in silence for a moment. Marcus, I need time to process all this. The money, the company, everything. It's a lot. Take all the time you need. But Tiana, please don't leave. Stay and give this marriage a real chance. I looked at this man, this billionaire who pretended to be poor just to find someone real. It was insane, but somehow it also made sense. I'm not leaving, I said quietly. But no more secrets. Understand? No more secrets. I promise. He held out his hand. I took it. Partners? He asked. Partners.
Sometimes the people who should protect you are the ones who hurt you most. The next day, Marcus insisted on taking me to visit Grandma Rose at Chicago Memorial Hospital. The kids stayed with Marcus's grandmother, who was thrilled to finally meet Destiny. When we arrived at the hospital, I was shocked to see my adoptive parents, Robert and Diane Martinez, standing outside Grandma's room with Valencia. "What are you doing here?" I asked coldly. Diane, my adoptive mother, looked at me with fake concern. "We came to check on Rose. She's family." "Family? You kicked me out 5 years ago and never looked back. Don't pretend you care now." Robert stepped forward. He was a tall man with graying hair and hard eyes. "Watch your tone, Tiana. We may have had our differences, but Rose raised you. We have a right to see her." "You have no rights here," Marcus said firmly, stepping beside me. "If my wife wants you gone, you're gone." Robert looked at Marcus like he was nothing. "And who are you supposed to be? The broke husband?" "I'm Marcus Kane, Tiana's husband." Valencia snickered. "Girl, you really married him. You could have done so much better." Before I could respond, a doctor came out of Grandma's room. "Family of Rose Brooks?" "That's me," I said. "I'm her granddaughter." "I need to discuss her surgery. The costs have increased to $70,000 due to complications. Without payment by Friday, we'll have to postpone the procedure." My heart sank. 70,000? "That's fine," Marcus said calmly. "I'll cover it." Everyone stared at him. "Excuse me?" Robert said. "You're going to pay $70,000? "Yes, I'll have my assistant wire the money today for Rose Brooks surgery. Yes, today. Thanks." He hung up and looked at my family. "Done." The doctor nodded. "Thank you, Mr. Kane. We'll process the payment and schedule the surgery." Robert's face turned red. "Where did you get that kind of money?" "That's none of your business," Marcus said coolly. "Now, if you'll excuse us, we'd like to see Rose alone." Valencia grabbed her mother's arm. "Come on, Mama. We don't need to be around these people." As they walked away, I heard Diane whisper, "Maybe Tiana didn't do so bad after all." Inside the room, Grandma Rose lay in bed looking frail but alert. When she saw me, her face lit up. "Baby girl, you came." I rushed to her side and hugged her gently. "Of course I came, Grandma. How are you feeling?" "Better now that you're here." She looked at Marcus. "And who is this handsome man?"
Grandma, this is Marcus, my husband. Her eyes went wide. Husband? Child, when did this happen? 2 days ago, we had a courthouse wedding. Grandma Rose studied Marcus carefully. Then she smiled. Come here, young man. Marcus approached the bed. Grandma took his hand. You treat my grandbaby right? She asked. Yes, ma'am, I promise. You love her? Marcus looked at me, and something in his eyes made my heart skip. I'm learning to, and I'll protect her with everything I have. Grandma squeezed his hand. That's all I needed to hear. Welcome to the family, Marcus. We stayed for an hour, talking and laughing. For the first time in years, I felt like things might actually be okay. But as we were leaving, I saw Diane in the hallway on her phone. Yes, that's right, Marcus Kane. Find out everything about him. I want to know who we're dealing with. My blood ran cold. My family was investigating Marcus. This wasn't over, not by a long shot. The past never stays buried forever. That night, I couldn't sleep. I kept thinking about Diane's phone call. What were they planning? I got up quietly and went to get water. As I passed the living room, I saw a book lying on the coffee table. It looked like a photo album. Curiosity got the better of me. I opened it. Inside were photos of Marcus and Simone growing up together. Birthday parties, holidays, high school graduation. They looked so happy together. But one photo made me stop breathing. It showed Simone holding a newborn baby in a hospital room. Marcus stood beside her looking exhausted but happy. At the bottom, someone had written, "Welcome to the world, Isaiah. We love you." My hands started shaking. Isaiah was Simone's son, not an adopted kid. Marcus had lied to me. Tiana! I jumped. Marcus stood in the doorway in his pajama pants. What is this? I held up the photo. You said you adopted Isaiah, but this picture shows Simone in a hospital with a newborn. That's Isaiah, isn't it? Marcus' face went pale. I can explain. You lied to me again after you promised no more secrets. Keep your voice down. You'll wake the kids. I stood up, clutching the photo album. Is Simone Isaiah's mother? Is that why she's always around? Are you still in love with her? No, it's not like that at all. Then what is it like, Marcus? Because I'm getting real tired of your lies. Marcus ran his hands over his face. Sit down, please. I'll tell you everything. Against my better judgment, I sat. Simone is not her biological mother, Marcus began. 4 years ago, I found Isaiah abandoned. I told you that truth. But Simone helped me care for him in the beginning. We took that photo at the hospital to make the adoption seem more normal to the social workers. We pretended to be a couple who wanted to adopt together. Why would you do that? Because single men rarely get approved for adoption, especially of newborns. The system is biased. Simone offered to help me lie to make sure I could keep Isaiah. I studied his face. Is that really the whole truth? Yes, Simone helped me and I'm grateful. But she started wanting more than friendship. She wanted us to actually be a couple and raise Isaiah together. I couldn't do that because I don't love her. I never have. Why keep the photo then? My grandmother gave me that album. She doesn't know the full story. She thinks Simone is Isaiah's mom and that we broke up. I haven't had the heart to tell her the truth. I wanted to believe him, but trust was hard when lies kept appearing. Marcus, I need you to get rid of this photo, and I need you to set clear boundaries with Simone. If we're going to make this marriage work, she can't be around all the time. Done. I'll take care of it tomorrow. And one more thing. If you lie to me again about anything, I'm taking Destiny and leaving. I don't care about the money or this apartment. I need honesty. That's my line. Marcus nodded seriously. I understand. No more lies. I swear on everything. We stood there in the dark living room, the photo album between us like a barrier. Come back to bed, Marcus said softly. It's late. I followed him back to the bedroom. This time, when we climbed into bed, there was less distance between us. Marcus? Yeah? Thank you for giving me another chance. Don't make me regret it.
When your past and present collide, things get messy. The next morning, we enrolled both kids in the same prestigious private school on the North Side, Carleton Academy, where tuition was $15,000 per year per child. Marcus, this is too expensive, I whispered as we sat in the principal's office. It's the best school in Chicago. Our kids deserve the best. Principal Anderson, an older black woman with kind eyes, smiled at us. Mr. and Mrs. Kane, we're delighted to welcome Isaiah and Destiny. Their entrance exam showed they're both very bright children. Thank you, I said, feeling proud. However, I do need to mention something. We had another family inquire about enrolling recently. They specifically asked if Tiana Brooks had any children registered here. My stomach dropped. Who was it? A Diane Martinez. She said she was Destiny's grandmother. Marcus's jaw clenched. She's not. She has no parental rights whatsoever. I understand. We take privacy very seriously. I told her we couldn't confirm or deny any student enrollment, but I wanted you to be aware. After we left the principal's office, I was shaken with anger. They're trying to find out about the kids. Why? Because they realize I have money now. They want back in your life. Well, they can forget it. We picked up the kids from the school tour. Isaiah and Destiny were holding hands, already excited about their matching uniforms. Mom, this school has a library with 10,000 books. And a science lab, Isaiah added quietly. Seeing them so happy made everything worth it. As we walked to the car, I heard a familiar voice behind us. Tiana Brooks? Oh my God, it really is you. I turned around and saw Dr. Chin, my former mentor from when I worked at City Hope Hospital 5 years ago. He was walking with another doctor. Dr. Chin, hi. He rushed over and hugged me. I can't believe it. Where have you been? You just disappeared after that incident. My face burned with shame. The incident. That's what everyone called it when the Valencia family accused me of a medical mistake that nearly killed a patient. I've been around, I said vaguely. This is my husband, Marcus Kane, and our kids. Dr. Chin shook Marcus's hand. Nice to meet you. Tiana, I wanted to talk to you for years. What happened back then wasn't your fault. We all knew Valencia was the one who made that medication error, not you. What? I stared at him. But I signed the confession because the Martinez family forced you to. Everyone on staff knew the truth. Valencia was careless and nearly killed that patient with the wrong dosage. But her father, Robert, paid the hospital board to cover it up and blame you instead. Tears filled my eyes. I lost everything because of that lie. My job, my reputation, my family. I know. And I'm sorry I didn't fight harder for you. The hospital administrators threatened my job if I spoke up. Dr. Chin squeezed my hand. But if you ever want to clear your name, I'll testify. I have proof of what really happened. Proof? Emails, documents, everything. I kept copies just in case. Marcus stepped forward. Dr. Chin, we'd like to get that evidence. Would you be willing to share it? Absolutely. Tiana deserves justice. After Dr. Chin left, I stood there in shock. Valencia had destroyed my life and let me take the blame. They're going to pay for this, Marcus said quietly. All of them. How? Leave it to me. I have resources they can't even imagine. Sometimes
You have to face your demons to be free. 2 days later, Marcus arranged a meeting at Kane Enterprises. He invited the entire Martinez family, Robert, Diane, and Valencia, claiming he wanted to discuss business opportunities. They showed up in designer clothes, smiling like they'd won the lottery. They thought Marcus was going to offer them money or jobs. They had no idea what was coming. We met in Marcus's office on the 50th floor. The view of Chicago was breathtaking. The Martinez family looked around in awe at the expensive furniture and art. "Mr. Kane, this office is impressive," Robert said, trying to sound important. "Clearly," Marcus said coldly. He sat behind his massive desk. I stood beside him. "Please, sit down." They sat in the chairs across from us like kids called to the principal's office. "So, about this business opportunity," Robert began. "I ran a small import company. Perhaps we could partner?" "There's no business opportunity. I brought you here to discuss something else. 5 years ago, you accused my wife of medical malpractice. You forced her to take the blame for Valencia's mistake. You destroyed her career and kicked her out of your family." The room went silent. Diane's smile faded. That's old news. Water under the bridge." "Is it?" Marcus pressed a button on his desk. A projector screen lowered from the ceiling. The screen lit up with documents, emails, medical reports, witness statements. All of it proved that Valencia was the one who made the fatal error, not me. "This is evidence from Dr. Chen and several other doctors who worked at City Hope Hospital. It clearly shows that Valencia administered the wrong medication dosage. Tiana tried to stop her, but Valencia ignored the warning. When the patient nearly died, your family bribed the hospital board to cover it up and blame you instead." Valencia's face went white. "That's not true." "It's all true. I have 12 witnesses willing to testify, including the patient's family, who were told the truth after your bribe." Robert stood up angrily. "You can't prove any of this." "Actually, I can, and I will, unless you do exactly what I say." "What do you want?" Diane asked, her voice shaking. Marcus leaned forward. "First, you will issue a public apology to Tiana. You will admit that she was innocent and that your family forced her to take the blame. Second, you will pay her $200,000 in damages for the emotional distress and lost wages she suffered. Third, you will never contact her, our children, or me ever again. If you do, I will release this evidence to every news outlet in Chicago." $200,000? Robert gasped. "We don't have that kind of money." "Then sell your house, sell your cars. I don't care. You have 1 week. Valencia started crying. "Daddy, do something." But Robert just sat there, defeated. He knew Marcus had them trapped. "Fine," Robert finally said. "We'll pay. We'll apologize. Just don't release those documents." "Smart choice." Marcus stood up. "Now get out of my office. You have until next Friday." The Martinez family left looking ghosts. When the door closed, I collapsed into Marcus's chair. "I can't believe you did that," I whispered. "They hurt you. Nobody hurts my wife and gets away with it." For the first time since we got married, I looked at Marcus and felt something deep in my chest, something warm and real. Maybe I was starting to fall in love with my husband.
Victory is sweet, but revenge comes with a price. That night, we celebrated with the kids at their favorite pizza place. Isaiah and Destiny couldn't stop talking about their first week at Carleton Academy.
Mom, I made a friend named Jasmine, Destiny said, her mouth full of pepperoni pizza. And I have a friend named Marcus, too, Isaiah added, just like Dad. Marcus smiled. That's great, buddy. I felt happier than I had in years. My family was finally whole. The Martinez family was about to apologize. Grandma Rose's surgery was scheduled. Everything was falling into place. But I should have known better. Later that night, after the kids were asleep, my phone rang. Unknown number. Hello? Tiana Brooks? A woman's voice, cold and professional. This is she. This is Simone Harris. I'm calling to warn you about something important. I put the phone on speaker so Marcus could hear. What do you want, Simone? Marcus is playing you. He doesn't love you. He married you because his grandmother forced him to find a mother for Isaiah before she dies. Once his grandmother passes, he'll divorce you and come back to me. That's not true, I said, but my voice wavered. Isn't it? Did he tell you we were engaged 3 years ago? Did he tell you I'm the one who helped him build Kane Enterprises? Did he tell you Isaiah calls me Mama when you're not around? I looked at Marcus. His face was tight with anger. Simone, stop lying, Marcus said loudly. We were never engaged. You helped with some business deals, but I built my company myself, and Isaiah has never called you Mama. Ask your precious grandmother, Marcus. She'll tell you the truth. She wanted us to get married. She still does. Marcus grabbed the phone. Stay away from my family, Simone. I'm warning you. Or what? You'll have me arrested? I'm not doing anything illegal. I'm just telling your wife the truth. She deserves to know who she really married. Simone hung up. I stood there, feeling like the ground was crumbling beneath me. Marcus, were you engaged to her? No, never. She wanted to get engaged, but I said no. That's why she's so angry. And your grandmother, does she want you to be with Simone? Marcus hesitated. My grandmother always liked Simone because we grew up together, but I've told her 1,000 times that I don't love Simone. I stopped myself. What do you love? I asked quietly. I love the family we're building. You, me, Isaiah, and Destiny. That's real. Simone is just jealous. I wanted to believe him, but doubt was creeping in like poison. I need some air, I said, grabbing my jacket. Tiana, don't leave. I'm not leaving. I just need to think. I went out to the apartment building's rooftop. The city lights sparkled below. Chicago looks so beautiful from up here, so peaceful. But my life felt like chaos. I pulled out my phone and called the one person who always told me the truth, Dr. Chen. Tiana, everything okay? Dr. Chen, I need your honest opinion. Do you think someone can fall in love in a few days? He was quiet for a moment. I think love takes time, but connection, that can happen instantly. Why do you ask? I married someone I barely know, and now I'm wondering if I made a huge mistake. Did he hurt you? No, he's been nothing but kind, but there are so many secrets, so many unknowns. Tiana, you're one of the smartest, strongest women I know. Trust your instincts. If something feels wrong, it probably is. But if something feels right, don't let fear talk you out of it. After we hung up, I sat on the rooftop for another hour. Finally, I went back downstairs. Marcus was in the living room waiting for me. He looked worried. I'm sorry, he said immediately. I should have told you about Simone's obsession with me. I should have been clearer about my grandmother's wishes. I've been trying to protect you from drama, but I ended up creating more. Marcus, I need complete honesty from here on out. Every secret, every X, every complication, I need to know everything. Okay, then I'll tell you something I should have said days ago. He took a deep breath. I'm falling in love with you, Tiana. I know it's fast. I know it sounds crazy. But every day I spend with you, I fall harder. You're smart, strong, beautiful, and real. You're everything I've ever wanted in a partner. My heart stopped. You love me? I'm getting there. And I think you're getting there too. He was right. I was. Come here, I said softly. Marcus walked over. I stood on my tiptoes and kissed him. Not like at the courthouse. This was real, deep, full of possibility. When we pulled apart, we were both breathing hard. Is this real? I whispered. It's real. I promise you, Tiana, this is real. We went to bed that night wrapped in each other's arms. For the first time, the distance between us disappeared completely.
When you dig for the truth, you might not like what you find. The next morning, Marcus had an early meeting at Kane Enterprises. I took the kids to school, then decided to visit Grandma Rose before her surgery tomorrow. At the hospital, I found Grandma sitting up in bed looking much stronger. "Baby girl, you're glowing," she said with a knowing smile. I blushed. "I'm just happy, Grandma." "That Marcus is treating you right?" "He is. But Grandma, there's something I need to ask you. 5 years ago, when I had the twins, you were there when they told me the boy died, right?" Grandma's face changed. "Why are you asking about this now?" "Because something doesn't add up. The doctor said he was stillborn, but I've been thinking about it. They rushed me into that delivery room so fast, everything was chaos. Did you actually see them take the baby away?" Grandma looked uncomfortable. "Tiana, you were bleeding so bad we almost lost you. The doctor said the boy was too weak. He didn't survive. But did you see him? Did you hold him?" "No, but what if they lied to me, Grandma? What if someone took my son?" "Why would anyone do that?" "Because the Martinez family wanted to punish me. They wanted me to suffer." Grandma grabbed my hand. "Baby, I know you're hurting, but that kind of thinking would drive you crazy. You have destiny. You have Marcus and Isaiah now. Focus on them." But I couldn't let it go. After leaving the hospital, I drove to City Hope Hospital, where I'd given birth 5 years ago. I asked to speak to the records department. "I need information about a birth 5 years ago," I told the clerk. "Twin babies. One survived, one didn't." "I'm sorry, ma'am. Medical records are confidential." "I'm the mother. It's my right to see my own records." The clerk hesitated. "Let me check with my supervisor." 20 minutes later, a supervisor came out. She looked nervous. "Mrs. Kane, I'm afraid those records are sealed." "Sealed? Why?" "By court order. I can't tell you any more." "Who sealed them?" I can't say. I'm sorry." I left the hospital more suspicious than ever. Someone didn't want me to know the truth about my son. I called Marcus immediately. "I need your help. Someone sealed my medical records from 5 years ago. Can you use your connections to find out who?" "I'm on it. Are you okay?" "No, but I will be once I get answers." That evening,
Marcus came home with a folder full of documents. "You're not going to believe this," he said. "The court order sealing your records was filed by Robert Martinez. He listed himself as your legal guardian at the time. He was never my legal guardian. I was 21 years old." It gets worse. I found hospital staff reports from that night. Multiple nurses said the baby boy was alive when he was born. Weak, but alive. Then suddenly, the reports changed to list him as stillborn. My hands shook. Someone changed the records. Someone took my baby and covered it up. I think so too. I've hired a private investigator. We're going to find out what happened to your son, Tiana. I promise. I collapsed onto the couch, overwhelmed. Why would they do this? What did I ever do to deserve this? Marcus sat beside me and pulled me close. "You didn't do anything. They're just evil people. But we're going to get justice for you and for your son." That night, I lay awake thinking about my baby boy. Was he alive somewhere? Did someone adopt him? Was he safe? And then a crazy thought hit me. Isaiah. Marcus found him abandoned 4 years ago in a box on the street, around the same age my son would have been. Same brown skin, same features. No, that was impossible. Or was it? Some truths are too big to ignore. The next morning, I couldn't stop staring at Isaiah. His eyes, his smile, the way he tilted his head when he was confused. It all reminded me of me. "Marcus, I need to talk to you," I said, after we dropped the kids at school. We sat in his car in the school parking lot. "I think Isaiah might be my son," I said, barely breathing. Marcus went still. "What?" "Think about it. You found him abandoned around the right time. He looks like me. He even has the same birthmark on his left shoulder that Destiny has. Tiana, that's impossible. Or was it? The hospital changed the records. Robert sealed them. Someone took my baby and left him to die. What if Isaiah is that baby? What if fate brought us together?" Marcus ran his hands over his face. "If that's true, that means we're raising your twins. Destiny and Isaiah are biological siblings. We need to do a DNA test. Please, Marcus, I need to know." "Okay, let's do it. But Tiana, whatever the results are, I love Isaiah. He's my son regardless." "I know, and I love him too." We went to a private clinic that afternoon. The doctor took DNA samples from me, Destiny, and Isaiah. Isaiah thought it was a fun game, swabbing his cheek. "Results will be ready in 3 days, the doctor said. Those 3 days felt like 3 years. I couldn't eat, couldn't sleep. Every time I looked at Isaiah, I saw my baby boy, the one they told me died. Meanwhile, Grandma Rose had her surgery. It went perfectly. She was recovering well. "God is good," she said from her hospital bed. "I'm going to live to see you happy, baby girl."
The past never stays buried, and when multiple secrets explode at once, survival becomes the only option. I didn't sleep that night. I kept thinking about the note Marcus showed me, the one that was left with Isaiah in that cardboard box. The handwriting was too familiar. I'd seen it 1,000 times growing up. Valencia's handwriting. At 6 a.m., I was already dressed. Marcus tried to stop me. "Tiana, let me come with you. Don't go alone." "I need to do this myself. Valencia needs to see my face when I confront her." "At least take James and the security team." "Fine, but they stay in the car."
I drove to the Martinez house with rage burning in my chest. My baby, my son had been left to die in a box like trash, and my own sister did it. I didn't knock. I used the spare key I still had from years ago and burst through the front door. "Valencia!" My voice echoed through the house. Diane came running down the stairs in her robe. "Tiana, what are you doing here? It's 6 a.m. "Where is she?" "She's asleep. What's this about?" I pushed past Diane and stormed up to Valencia's bedroom. I kicked the door open so hard it slammed against the wall. Valencia was in bed with Jamal. They both scrambled to cover themselves. "What the hell, Tiana?" Valencia screamed. I threw the photo of the note at her face. "You tried to murder my son." Valencia's face went completely white. "I don't know what you're talking about." "Don't lie to me." I was shaking with fury. "That's your handwriting. You took my baby from the hospital, wrote this disgusting note, and left him in a box to die." By now, Robert and Diane were in the doorway. Robert grabbed the photo from the floor and read it. His face changed. Shock, then horror, then rage. "Valencia, what did you do?" "Nothing. She's crazy. She's making this up." "I have proof." I pulled out my phone and showed them the DNA results. "The baby you said died? He's alive. Marcus found him abandoned in Inglewood 4 years ago. Your daughter tried to kill him. And now I have the DNA proof that he's my son." Diane gasped, her hand over her mouth. "Valencia, no. Please tell me this isn't true." "It is true." I was crying now, angry tears streaming down my face. "You stole my baby and left him to die." Valencia started crying too, but they were fake tears, manipulative tears. "I did it for us, for this family. If you'd kept both babies, people would have asked questions. They would have figured out that Robert paid to cover up my medical mistake. I was protecting us. By trying to murder an innocent baby?" Robert's voice shook with rage I had never heard before. "He was weak anyway. The doctor said he probably wouldn't survive. I just sped up the process." I lunged at her. Barely Jamal pulled me back in time. "You're evil!" I screamed. "You're a monster!" "I saved this family," Valencia yelled back. "Everything I did was to protect our reputation, and you ruined it by coming back into our lives with your perfect billionaire husband and your perfect little family." Robert suddenly moved forward and slapped Valencia across the face, hard. The room went completely silent. "Get out," Robert said, his voice cold as ice. "Get out! Pack your things and get out of my house. You're no daughter of mine." "Daddy, please." "You tried to kill a baby, my grandson. Get out before I call the police myself." Valencia looked at Diane desperately. "Mama!" But Diane just turned away, sobbing. "I can't even look at you." Valencia grabbed some clothes and ran out with Jamal behind her. We heard his car screech out of the driveway. I stood there shaking, my whole body vibrating with rage and relief and pain. Robert looked at me with tears in his eyes. "Tiana, I am so sorry. I knew Valencia was troubled, but I never imagined she could do something this evil. You covered up her mistakes for years. You created this monster." "I know, and I'll spend the rest of my life trying to make it right. I'll testify against her. I'll do whatever it takes. I don't want anything from you except to stay away from me and my children. All of them." I walked out and drove straight to the police station. I filed a full report: attempted murder, child endangerment, falsifying medical records, everything. "We'll issue a warrant for Valencia Martinez's arrest immediately. This is serious. She's looking at 15 to 20 years in prison." "Good. She deserves every second." When I got home, Marcus was waiting with the kids. Isaiah and Destiny were playing in the living room, completely unaware of the storm that had just happened. "How did it go?" Marcus asked. Valencia confessed. "Robert kicked her out. I filed charges. It's over." Marcus pulled me into his arms. "I'm so Proud of you." But as I stood there, something felt wrong. Like this really wasn't over. My phone buzzed. Unknown number. I opened the text message. "Congratulations on exposing Valencia, but you made a big mistake, Tiana. She wasn't working alone, and the person who helped her is much more dangerous than you can imagine. You think you've won? This is just the beginning. Watch your back, Mrs. Kane. I'm coming for everything you love." My blood ran cold. I showed Marcus the text. His face went dark. Who sent this? I don't know. Another text came through. This time it was a photo. A photo of Mrs. Harris, Marcus's godmother, standing with Valencia outside the hospital 5 years ago. They were talking, smiling, planning. A third text. "Surprised? Your husband's godmother is the one who orchestrated everything. The drugging at the hotel 5 years ago, that was her. She wanted you and Marcus together to produce and air, then planned to kill you and raise the children with her daughter Simone. But you survived. And now I have to finish what she started. You have 48 hours before I make my move. Say goodbye to your perfect life." I dropped my phone. My hands were shaking. Marcus, Mrs. Harris, she was behind everything. The hotel, the babies, all of it. What? That's impossible. His phone rang. It was James, his head of security. "Mr. Kane, we have a situation. Mrs. Harris just withdrew $5 million in cash. Our sources say she's hired people, dangerous people. And sir, they're coming for Mrs. Kane and the children." Marcus's face went pale. "When?" "We don't know. Could be today, could be tomorrow, but it's happening soon." Another text came to my phone. This time it was a video. The video showed Simone, Marcus's ex, sitting in a car with someone I couldn't see clearly, but I could hear their conversation. Simone's voice. "My mother's plan is perfect. Tiana won't see it coming. By this time next week, she'll be gone, and Marcus will finally be mine." Another voice. "And the children?" Simone. "The girl goes to foster care. The boys stay with us. My mother already has the fake custody papers ready." The video ended. I looked at Marcus, tears streaming down my face. "They're going to kill me. They're going to take our children." Marcus grabbed his phone and started making calls. "James, get every security team we have to this apartment now. Call Detective Morrison. Call the FBI. I don't care who you have to wake up. My family is in danger." There was banging on the door. Loud, aggressive banging. We both froze. "Tiana Kane, open this door. Chicago police." Marcus looked through the security camera. "It's the police. But I didn't call them." "Neither did I." He opened the door carefully. 2 police officers stood there with serious expressions. "Mrs. Tiana Kane?" "Yes." "You are arrested for extortion, harassment, and making false accusations against Valencia Martinez and the Martinez family." "What?" I couldn't believe what I was hearing. The officer pulled out handcuffs. "You have the right to remain silent." "This is insane." Marcus stepped forward. "My wife filed a legitimate police report with evidence." "Sir, step back or you'll be arrested for obstruction. We have a warrant signed by a judge. Mrs. Martinez's lawyer provided evidence that Mrs. Kane has been harassing the family and fabricating stories about attempted murder." "Fabricating? I have DNA evidence. I have the note. I have hospital records." "Ma'am, you can explain that to the judge. Turn around." As they put handcuffs on me, I saw Marcus pull out his phone frantically. "James, they're arresting Tiana. Get our lawyers now. Call everyone." Isaiah and Destiny came running out. "Mommy, what's happening?" "It's okay, babies. Mommy's gonna be fine. Daddy's gonna fix this." But as they led me out of the apartment, I saw something that made my heart stop. Across the street, sitting in a black car with tinted windows, was Mrs. Harris. She was watching, smiling, and next to her was a judge, the same judge who'd signed the warrant for my arrest.
As the police car drove away, my phone, now in an evidence bag, buzzed one more time. Told you, 48 hours. The game has just begun. And Tiana, you are going to lose everything. Wait. Before you click away, I need to know something. What do you think? Will Tiana go to jail for crimes she didn't commit? Can Marcus save her before Mrs. Harris makes her next move? Who is really pulling the strings, Mrs. Harris or someone even more powerful? Will Tiana and Marcus ever get their DNA test results to prove the twins are theirs? Is Simone working with her mother, or does she have her own evil plan? Drop your predictions in the comments right now. Here's what I can tell you about part 2. Someone close to the family is a traitor. The DNA test results reveal something nobody expected. There's a kidnapping attempt that will leave you screaming. Mrs. Harris has a secret that will blow your mind. Tiana fights back in a way that will make you cheer. And the ending, you won't see it coming. If you're not subscribed yet, what are you waiting for? Part 2 drops next with The Courtroom Battle of the Century. Secrets about that night 5 years ago. A villain you will never expect. Justice, revenge, and true love. And the most satisfying ending ever. Smash that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you don't miss a single second. Also, where in the world are you watching from? Drop your city and country below. I'm seeing comments from Atlanta, London, Lagos, Toronto, Sydney. Let's build this global family. One more thing. Type part 2 in the comments if you're ready for the next episode. Let me see that energy. The story is not over. In fact, it's just getting started. See you in part 2 if you can handle it.